So this, Something Deeply Hidden by Sean Carroll, is where this journey started for me about, I don't know, 2 years ago, give or take. And I read it, oh, I don't know, I'll say I read it twice. Read it twice. Sorry about uh, how the video is. I'm trying to get this stuff out there in a rough form. Um, as like I said, my wife in an earlier video, I said that my wife and I will probably be starting a more polished YouTube channel. But I wanted to get this stuff out there. I wanted to get these ideas out into the realm of reality that isn't just me. Um, this all started with what's going on here was with that book, and then I live in an area that, let's just say, science isn't all that looked highly upon. So I pull my curtains and I lock the doors and I read books and I uh, watch YouTube videos and um, Neil deGrasse Tyson's one I watch and I really respect. And he put out a video. I don't know when he put it out, but I watched it a couple weeks ago. And in that video, he said, he was talking about the quantum of light. And he said, a photon, from the moment it leaves the sun until it enters your pupil, is instantaneous. And he said the word instantaneous, and something in my mind just went, that's not correct. That's not what's happening. And so I went to AI like a little kid to your parents. I just kept asking questions for hours. It isn't a conversation. You just have to keep asking questions. And the whole premise, the whole thing broke down to me was that for quantum, for light, we say the speed of light. And Einstein and general relativity says from the point of view of the observer. Well, I got into my mind's eye and I was like, well, what does it look like for light? What's the point of view from light? It's not instantaneous. Instantaneous is a measure of time. And I realized to a photon of light, anything quantum, anything probably, I'm sort of going way out on a limb here now, but time is zero. Zero and infinity are the same exact thing. So if you wanted to put a number on infinity, it would be zero as far as quantum is concerned. So then I realized when time is absolutely nothing, it's zero to a photon, there's no instantaneous because there's no measurement at all. Then all of a sudden, the interference on the double slit experiment made sense. It's like, well, light, a photon travels, or an electron, or whatever you want to put in that experiment, or travels all past. Well, of course it does. If there's no time, what does it matter to it? What does it matter if it's whatever? It doesn't, there is no time until we impose our measurement, our observation onto it. And it's the same thing with spooky action at a distance. What does it matter? What does it matter if it's 1 inch apart or 100,000 galaxies apart? If time is irrelevant, it's not even in the equation, there is no such thing as time, then what does it matter? But from our point of view, we look at these things and we say, holy shit, this is spooky, or how can this be? Well, when we look at the interference on the double slit, we're actually looking at no time. There is no, until we put a measurement on it, but the wave interference itself is zero time. So in my head, I realized zero and infinity are the same thing. And maybe as I struggle, one of my least favorite words, I might throw pie in there just for a dessert. Pardon the pun. But anyway, so in dealing with AI, I was throwing out these ideas because I've never in my whole life been able to be academic. I can think these things, but they don't come out right. They end up just being scribbles on a back of an envelope that are disconjointed at best. Anyway, AI was able to clean it up and actually put it in a framework. And so I want to put this framework out for anybody else to look at. And they can tell me whatever, because I'm not a scientist. I'm just some guy in the wilderness that enjoys this stuff. So anyway, I'm going to put it here on the thing, then put it up on YouTube, and hopefully somebody else will see it and I can share it and we can go from there. But this is as far as me being some big physicist. This would be absolutely as far as I could go, what I'm about to show you. After this, it would be up to Neil deGrasse Tyson, or what was it, Brian Cox, or Sean Carroll, those kind of real PhDs, PhD meet GED. But honestly, this sort of came to me all because of Neil deGrasse Tyson. So thanks, Neil. Anyway, I'm going to show it to you. And I'm sorry that it looks so disconjointed. Actually, this looks 100% better than what if I would have written it down. You can see where I sort of clipped and pasted in reality on this. But what this is basically saying is, for quantum, let's say a photon of light or electron or magnetism, light is zero. There is no such thing. That's why we can observe spooky action at a distance. That's why there's interference in the double slit experiment. So I'm going to flip it on over here. I know I'm doing this all crazy, but it's the best I can do right now with an old Apple phone. But I don't know. It made perfect sense to me when that sort of came together on paper, or even when Neil deGrasse Tyson said that instantaneous. It was that one word. I was like, no, instantaneous is a measurement of time. And that was like the seed of the idea. So, and like I said, thanks, Neil. And maybe Neil will see this and he can take it and run with it way further than, this is just an idea. This is just a frame of an idea in my mind. And hopefully somebody else can take it and run with it. Anyway, or somebody can just enjoy what I enjoyed. Thanks for watching.